Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. As the saying goes, we've saved the best for last. During this session, we'll introduce you to Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine. This is the innovation ecosystem at Igor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. It unites universities, local government, businesses, and organizations nationwide to promote innovation. We'll hear from representatives of different cities of Ukraine who are part of this network. And in the end, several of the winning teams of the Sikorsky Challenge Startup Competition will present their startups. Moderating today's discussion will be Igor. He is the founder and managing director of Startup Mastery Innovation Technologies Program in Israel. Igor has more than 20 years of industry experience in management, strategic planning, early stage ventures, business development, and marketing, and is one of the co-founders and managing partners of Sikorsky Challenge Innovation. Igor, I pass it on to you.
Okay, dear friends, thank you very much that we met today in this great evening. So actually, I'm going to moderate this event, and I hope we will have a very good time spend it together. So I'm glad to have the opportunity to take part in Ukraine, in Washington and beyond, powering partnerships through innovation and startups. And I'm grateful to organizer, especially the US-Ukraine Foundation, for organizing such a great event and for the honor to moderate the panel discussion Sikorsky Challenge Innovation Ecosystem and Startup Competition. So actually I'm going to share my screen with the short presentation and we'll go through it. And after that, I'll provide the possibility to speak other guys in our meeting. So I just going to share. Okay, can we see? So we together with Ina Malukova, she is my friend and director of the Institute of Postgraduate Education in KPI, launching the startup school Sikorsky Challenge on the basis of the National Technical University of Ukraine, Ihor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute in 2014. During the transformation that were taking place in Ukraine at the time. Our idea was supported by its rector, also my friend, Professor Michael Zgorowski. He put a lot of effort for developing this project and transforming it from local to national and already international level. Our idea was during this time, the startup school has grown into acceleration and the incubation program. Today, it's an open innovation ecosystem that unites institutions interested in the development of the Ukrainian innovative economy. Universities, research institutions, government, and local authorities, business companies, foundation, and public organization. Our team's aims not only to develop the Sikorsky Challenge, but also to raise it to a new level. The creation of innovative entrepreneurs, companies, startups in different regions of Ukraine in complex will contribute to the development of the innovative potential of economy of Ukraine. In the process of work, we just realized that a simple copy-paste of startup development model, which maybe work great in the Silicon Valley, in New York, in Tel Aviv, in other innovation hubs in the world, doesn't work well in Ukraine. It has its own characteristics and factors that need to be taken into account. For example, insufficient development of the legal framework in the field of startup project, which does not fully allow imposing Western models for innovative development. Ukraine has its own mentality and so on. As a result, we have developed our own model of the development innovative project and startups, which is called Startup Mastery. I would like to know that today's statistic of successful startups is less than 10%. To successfully launch a startup project, you need to the right strategy that would reduce the risk and increase the likelihood of success. We have developed and implemented the Startup Mastery business innovation strategy that use pre-start marketing, the business development, and minimum sellable product approaches to launch startup projects. The basis of our technology is approach when we start working with the market and representatives of the target customer segments at the early stage, in the sense, in the idea stage. As further development of the startup project takes place in direct communication with representatives of the customers. Such approach can significantly reduce the risk of startup project entering the market, since potential customers are already involved in the stage of the problematic validation process and solutions. Startup Mastery business innovation strategy consists of 5 stages. Actually, we can see there in our slide. Okay, this is include a basic level, bronze, silver, gold, and the platinum. And taking the startup through these levels, actually from idea, we built our startup to the business, to the company. And this is uniqueness of our approach to scaling startups and creating innovative ecosystem in Ukraine. We believe that integration of startup innovation strategy with regional approaches of innovation cluster development will allow us to achieve our goals in the creation of the innovative economy of Ukraine. I think Ihor Sikorsky, Rector of the National Technical University of Ukraine, Igor Sikorsky, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, will describe more about the Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine innovation ecosystem. So, Ihor Sikorsky, the floor is yours. You're welcome.
Thank you, Igor. Thank you. Give us control for over the presentation, please.
Yes, I just stop the share.
Okay, great. Dear colleagues, friends, thank you very much for the invitation to share information about the activities of Ukrainian innovation ecosystem Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine. The founder and coordinator of this ecosystem is the Ihor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. During its 122 years, the university has trained many engineers and designers who have changed the world with their achievements. For example, Igor Sikorsky, the famous aircraft designer, space explorer Serhiy Orlov, and many others. All this time, the Kyiv Polytechnic Institute has been innovative in its essence. Today, KPI is actively developing the model of a research university. The main concept of its work is based on the knowledge triangle. In this model, education, research, and innovation are organically interconnected components. Moreover, the innovative component, which is organized jointly with high-tech companies, includes at least 30% of engineering curriculum disciplines. Based on the model of research university, today KPI is the largest startup creator in Ukraine. In its 72 scientific schools, from 100 to 150 startups are born annually for a wide range of modern engineering fields: mechanical engineering, green energy, biomedical engineering, information technology, telecommunication, cleaner production, and many others. Today, the university teaches students in 43 bachelor programs and 92 Master of Science programs, and in 82 programs of PhD. However, in the days of independent Ukraine, the university needed to radically restructure the nature of its work in an open market system of innovations. As a result, over the past 20 years, an innovative ecosystem, Sikorsky Challenge, has been built, which has already gone far beyond the university and has now covered 18 out of 25 regions of Ukraine. Today, Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine is an open innovation ecosystem that in various regions of Ukraine unites local governments, universities, research institutes, business companies, foundations, and non-governmental organizations. The central core of this ecosystem is the Ihor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute with its scientific park, Kyiv Polytechnic, startup school, Sikorsky Challenge, Festival of Innovative Projects, Sikorsky Challenge, Innovation Holding, Sikorsky Challenge, and other components. More than 110 high-tech companies from Ukraine, USA, Europe, and other countries of the world, several venture and investment foundations joined to KPI innovation ecosystem. In recent years, Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine has been actively building its divisions in Ukraine and abroad. Today, Sikorsky Challenge branches in the form of regional clusters are opened in 18 regions of Ukraine. They are created based on local universities. Within the framework of our section, the representatives of clusters from Kyiv, Mariupol, Poltava, Vinnytsia will speak today. Abroad, the Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine innovation ecosystem is represented by its partner companies in 4 countries, in the USA, Israel, China, and Azerbaijan. Regional innovation clusters unite by common goals, local governments, local businesses, scientists, innovators, banks, and public organizations to implement important for the region's innovative projects. The training of participants in regional clusters is carried out by experienced entrepreneurs from the Kyiv and international branches of the Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine. The investors, scientists, and entrepreneurs of the Sikorsky Challenge can get support in the implementation of their project by studying at the startup school, working at Fab Lab and several university laboratories, going through business incubation of projects and presenting them at the Startup Festival. Project authors have access to grant support, sponsors, investment funds, etc. Today, Sikorsky Challenge main areas of activity are defense and security, industrial, high-tech and space, biomedical engineering and human health, information technology and cybersecurity, agrotech, green energy, ecology, and some others. Having actively started in 2012, we have received a high dynamic of attracting and supporting projects by investors. As we can see from the slide, the number of teams participating in the annual festival of innovative projects Sikorsky Challenge is increasing. The number of projects selected by investors for their further incubation and market launch is also increasing. Over 15 years, 110 high-tech companies from the USA, Europe, Ukraine, and other countries have entered the innovation ecosystem. More than 150 high-tech products and technologies were introduced to the markets, which had significant economic and social impact. The flow of participants in the innovation ecosystem is at least 3,000 people per year. Let me illustrate several examples of successful startups that were born in the innovation ecosystem and after their incubation, they were successfully launched on the markets. The unmanned aircraft Spectator, developed by KPI graduate student Roman Karnaushenko, was proposed to the Sikorsky Challenge Festival in 2013. The project was selected for the investment by the venture fund of academic Mikalevich and brought to the arms market in 2018. Now this drone is one of the most effective in its class for the Ukrainian army. It's also exported to the several countries for the precision farming purposes. In the field of the scientific space research, our two nanosatellites, Polyton 1 and Polyton 2, have become successful startups. They were developed by KPI students, presented at the Sikorsky Challenge Festival, selected for investment and incubation by Boeing Company and the Ukrainian venture fund of Konstantin Kalinin. In 2014 and 2017, respectively, Polyton 1 and Polyton 2 were launched into the space and successfully completed their scientific mission within the framework of international programs. Currently, our scientists continue to work on the next series of nanosatellites. Based on water purification inventions, there have been successful startups in the providing drinking water to certain groups of people in special conditions. For example, in space or in undeveloped areas that don't have life support infrastructure. A young scientist from KPI, Taras Nizhnik, proposed a startup that allows to process 15 liters of dirty water in 20 minutes, taken from any source, for example, from a puddle, river, or lake. This startup has been successfully implemented in the armed forces of Ukraine. This was especially useful for the small military formations, for example, platoons located in difficult terrain. The next startup is based on the improvement of membrane water treatment technology, focused on the processing of aggressive dirty mine water in mining towns in the eastern part of Ukraine. It should be considered that in the eastern regions of Ukraine, access to drinking water is at very low level, 15–20%. At the same time, there are many coal mines in this area from which a lot of aggressive dirty water is pumped out. The technology also recycles liquid waste generated during water purification. This startup has already been implemented in the city of Lysychansk, Lugansk region. It's planned to be widely replaced in the east of Ukraine. In general, over 150 successful startups have been grown in our ecosystem over the past 15 years. Doing this kind of activity, we would like to transform the Ukrainian economy into an innovative and high-tech one. We will also make every possible efforts to strengthen the defense capability of our country. We invite all conference participants to participate in the 10th anniversary festival Sikorsky Challenge, which will be held from 12 to 14 August this year on the eve of the 30th anniversary of Ukraine's independence. Thank you for your attention. Igor?
Thank you, Mikhail Zborovsky. Okay, it was very exciting achievements of Sikorsky Challenge and the KPI Institute. So I want to invite our old friend, Korsun. We spent a lot of time together, just providing support for Sikorsky Challenge competition. And Vic Korsun, the chairman of our international jury of this great event. And Vic, please, it's yours.
Thank you, Ihor. Greetings from Philadelphia. Dr. Sikorsky, dear colleagues, friends, and participants. This year, we will be marking our 10th Sikorsky Challenge Innovation Festival and Competition. Congratulations on this achievement. It is remarkable. 10 years ago, KPI's rector and the staff of Kyiv Polytechnic Institute initiated the first Sikorsky Challenge Innovation Competition. Since then, 18 universities across Ukraine and Azerbaijan have joined the Sikorsky Challenge. KPI teachers and trainers have started training programs for entrepreneurship and helping create startups at these universities and in their cities. It is a commendable achievement. Some of these universities are located in eastern Ukraine, in Luhansk and Donetsk, near the war zone of eastern Ukraine. It is remarkable how resilient and persevering Ukrainian scientists, teachers, and students are. While the war is going on for more than 7 years now, these individuals are continuing their scientific and technological developments, innovating and creating new products and technologies that can lead to new startups. And with new startup companies, new investments are possible and the creation of high-tech jobs in Ukraine. The younger Ukrainian generation is leading the way for Ukraine to become a high-tech country today. The IT sector is doing very well in Ukraine. Young scientists are beginning to spread their wings and contribute to the economic development of Ukraine. Innovations and startups are creating new high-tech jobs. And Igor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute is one of the universities leading the charge under the leadership of Dr. Skudovsky, rector of the university. Under the Sikorsky Challenge banner, KPI is training young scientists and engineers to become entrepreneurs and start new companies. They are mostly bootstrapping their companies. With the help and training from Sikorsky Challenge, the network of 18 Ukrainian universities and Azerbaijan are now creating startups and attracting internal and external investments. They are breaking the mold. Before, scientists and engineers had told me that commercialization of their discoveries and technological inventions was the responsibility of the Ukrainian government. But they have learned that the government can only create a level and fair playing field, while getting their products to production and marketing is their own responsibility. The training from teachers at Sikorsky Challenge School are creating entrepreneurs. They are seeking their own investments and showing how their innovative products and startups can lead to high-tech jobs in Ukraine. Such entrepreneurial thinking was not possible in Ukraine after becoming independent 30 years ago, but it is possible today. Ukraine is a country with significant natural and intellectual resources. The natural resources are limited and will run out, but your intellectual resources are unlimited and need to be mined as well in order to sustain you into the future, because the future is being built on the knowledge economy. We're here today in this webinar to promote Ukraine's intellectual resources from universities all over Ukraine, to promote the scientists and engineers developing new ideas and concepts useful in the entire world, in IT, in physics, chemistry, energy, biology, and other scientific and engineering disciplines. We will hear new ideas, new concepts that can be useful for global markets, ideas and concepts that investors can become interested in, say, I'm interested in you, tell me more. We're here to inspire you to look at these ideas, to see if further investments can make them innovative products and can revolutionize and disrupt markets. And before I conclude my short introduction, I wish to congratulate the Ihor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, the National Technical University of Ukraine, which just in the last month saluted the great achievement by NASA engineers and scientists who successfully flew Ingenuity, the first helicopter drone in the thin atmosphere on the surface of Mars. NASA's achievement follows the path pioneered approximately 110 years ago by Igor Sikorsky, who performed some of his early aviation developments for helicopter flight while a student in 1907 at Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. In 1919, Sikorsky emigrated to France and then the US to continue his aircraft designs and developments. He flew the first practical helicopter in 1929, and the first commercial design was produced in 1939. Sikorsky's early developments were started while he was studying at KPI. And to honor Igor Sikorsky's pioneering work and his inventive and entrepreneurial spirit, in 2016, KPI was renamed in his honor as the Igor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. Today, Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute is the largest technical university in Ukraine, with over 25,000 students and faculty. In Sikorsky's spirits, KPI graduates 25% of all of Ukraine's IT professionals, scientists, and engineers. KPI's alumni continue his legacy and work in Ukraine, Europe, America, and all over the world. A large number of prominent people worked and studied at Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, including Eugene Paton, a pioneer of electric welding, the space scientist Serhiy Orlov, who pioneered the first Sputnik in 1957 and the first manned flight of Yuri Gagarin in 1961. There are many other outstanding and eminent KPI alumni. To the entrepreneurs making pitches today, remember that by being here and giving of your best, you are all winners already. I wish you all both luck and personal satisfaction. So let's sit back and we'll hear from our Ukrainian innovators. Thank you.
Rick, thank you very much. We're very thankful for you for your support during these years, and I hope this 10th festival we will meet and we will we will do this jury, and we will see very grateful, a very great project. Okay, so as actually I did, and Michał Zgorowski said, we today, Sikorsky Challenge is going to create the clusters, innovation clusters in Ukraine. And today we have representatives of 3 clusters, major clusters we work with. Is representatives from Mariupol, from Vienna, from Poltava. So I want to provide the panel to the Serhiy Orlov. Serhiy Orlov is Deputy Mayor of Mariupol. So Serhiy, please.
Thank you, Igor. Good afternoon to all participants. This forum I represent the city of Mariupol, the city that is classically associated with industry, with steel, with factories, and this has been the case for over 100 years. Yes, our city was in practice gray industrial city of Zhdanom, its former name of our city. With the appearance of a new team in City Council in 2016, a new 2021 strategy was developed in the city of Mariupol. It is based on the result of sociological service and the problems that worried our citizens. The main direction of our strategy, current strategy 2021, was the development of utilities and municipal services. And the second key direction of our strategy is transformation of our economy and the development of opportunities for our citizens. The development of universities, tourism, city seafronts, innovations have become a part of our strategy 2021, which we plan to transfer and develop a new strategy 2030. which Mariupol is working out with the support of US aid. In parallel, we start to implement our strategy, and startup movement began in the city. And the first one, startup center, appeared in our university, State Pryazovskyi Technical University, and Deputy Rector Ihor Lentsov also here in us. This appeared in our university with the support of Sikorsky Challenge about 3 years ago. Today, 15 such centers are operating in Ukraine, and Mariupol also on the map. During the work of our center in Mariupol, about 300 students have been trained, and 30 startups have been prepared. The work of Sikorsky Challenge Startup Center became possible thanks to the support of international partners, of course, all Sikorsky Challenge Network, and with the participation of USAID. The first city Sikorsky Challenge startup in Mariupol was equipped on the base of university. And with the help of USAID, we plan and realize the visit of our delegation from Mariupol to city of Pittsburgh. It was organized, and we inspired a lot with this visit. And we see the opportunities that gives transformation, and was in fact realized in Pittsburgh, and we are still inspired with the experience. The history of development of Pittsburgh prompted Mariupol to create an IT cluster in the city and led transformation of our public spaces. We already transformed 2 public spaces, our chess club and our library, into new startup. We transform our public spaces to startup centers. And this also coordinates and cooperates together with Sikorsky Challenge in our university, and this form like cluster. Of course, we are on the initiative stage, but anyway, this process already started. The city of Mariupol continues to work about developing business, small and medium business, and we dream about our future strategy 2030 that we also want to realize with the help of our international partners, experts, and USAID. We set ambitious goal in our strategy, and of course, startup ecosystem innovation with support of Sikorsky Challenge Network in general, and our branch in Mariupol based on the university too. So we want to tell that all goals of Sikorsky Challenge closely coincide with our strategy, and I want to tell that Mariupol Mayor Vadim Boychenko, our city council itself, fully support this initiative and Sikorsky Challenge, and I want to thank all the partners with such a great implementation in Mariupol. Thanks a lot to all participants and to our startup teams, and have a great day. Thank you.
Sergey, thank you very much. As you said, the Mariupol is a very, very important part in our network. And thanks to Igor Lentsov, is here with his great job. He's a Vice-Rector for Science in the Pryazovskyi Polytechnic University, with his great work, just, you know, against any chances to create and to start and to develop and to invest in this great, our branch Sikorsky Challenge in Mariupol. Igor, thank you very much. Okay, so I want to take the, to present Svetlana Yarova. Svetlana Yarova is presenting the Vinnytsia. This is also our one of the best clusters, innovation clusters, and we started our startup school Sikorsky Challenge 4 years ago, I think. And today we have a running class in this city. So Svetlana, please.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here online with you. Thanks to Inna Malyukova for inviting me. My name is Svetlana Yarova. You already said that. I'm a chief of the Municipal Enterprise Vinnytsia Center of Innovation, a management company of Vinnytsia Industrial Park. Besides, we are working on the development of Innovation and Technology Park Crystal. In order to properly present the innovation ecosystem and cooperation with Sikorsky Challenge, at first I would like to address the issue of innovation in Vinnytsia in general. So I will share my screen, just a moment. Is it good now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that Vinnytsia has a favorable geographical location. This provides an opportunity to connect with almost all regional centers of Ukraine and a number of foreign countries. Vinnytsia International Airport, which has named the airport of the year among the Ukraine small airports in 2017, is located 3 kilometers from the city. Also, Vinnytsia has the highest ranking of investment attractiveness according to the agency credit rating, and is a leader in transparency rating of the investment sector according to Transparency International Ukraine organization. It also takes the second place in the ranking of the ease of doing business, compliant by regional doing businesses. Also, Vinnytsia has been recognized as the most comfortable city to live in for the 6 years in a row, according to International Republican Institute and Sociological Group rating. Vinnytsia is full of youth, 105,000 young people, which determines the significant personnel potential. There are more than 41,000 of students of higher educational institutions. Vinnytsia Council is constantly working to create the platforms that would allow businesses to communicate, develop, create innovative products and clusters, attract investments, and provide quality jobs. That's why we have 3 industrial parks in the city, real and working enterprises. The first is Vinnytsia Industrial Park. It's the greenfield investment with 27.6 hectares of which are free for investment. Now we have 2 contracted enterprises. It's worth mentioning that in a week, we are signing an agreement with the new investor, Portuguese company called TCS, that are going to place the manufacturing of building blocks. The second one is UBC Group. UBC Group Holding Green Coal Factory has been successfully operating and developing her since 2019. Due to coronavirus, the company plans to launch the production of Ukrainian artificial lung ventilation devices. Head of the company agreed with the American partners to take as a prototype an American artificial lung ventilation device, which has proven itself in US medical institutions, and to create a Ukrainian analog on its basis. And the most popular winter sport industrial park, actually just yesterday, we had a ceremony of the start of the plant construction. There will be the world's largest plant specializing in the producing of world-class sport equipment for winter sports. their company plans to launch the production of an innovative ski boot with a gel. Actually, this is kind of innovation stuff. That it will be a gel cushion inside. When wearing a boot, a gel pillow will wrap around the foot, preventing foot injuries. And actually, to continue about another project, important project for Vinnytsia is the creation of Ukraine's first municipal innovation and technology park, Crystal. Crystal will provide high quality infrastructure and modern facilities for residents and visitors. According to the park's concept, Crystal will have about 8,500 square meters of usable space, more than 1,000 square meters of event space, and more than 100 offices, IT school, business development center, children's technology center, co-working and fab lab. In the open space near the building of the park, we are going to create the place for the recreation, cultural events, festivals, and city holidays. Connection of powerful players in the sphere of innovation and creative economy in the one place will positively impact on the level of development of universities, research centers, industrial clusters, small and medium enterprises. This will be the center of innovations in Vinnytsia and Podila region. About our work with Sikorsky Challenge, our collaboration more than 3 years, almost 4. Innovation moves the world and changes people's lives. The Sikorsky Startup School works with innovators, scientists, and of course with creative youth, those who love to innovate, develop, design something. Our city authorities have been supporting the development of innovation in the city since the first year of the Sikorsky Challenge. It was a Sikorsky Challenge Startup School that is based in our Vinnytsia National Technical University. The project provides training for young people, in particular graduate students and school children, to turn their ideas into real business projects, with the prospect of establishing innovative startup companies and ensuring their sustainable development. Active activity contributes to the progress and creation of new opportunities and advantages of a digital smart city. Creation of innovation cluster in Vinnytsia in February, actually, in February this year, 2021, a memorandum of understanding and intentions to establish the innovation cluster in Vinnytsia was signed between Vinnytsia City Council, Vinnytsia National Technical University, Vinnytsia Municipal Center of Innovation, and Sikorsky Challenge Innovation Holding LLC. Through cooperation under the memorandum, the community will receive qualified professionals with creative abilities and ambitions, who will be able to realize their competence in their hometown without leaving it to create innovative, socially useful products needed by the Ukrainian community. The memorandum aims at creation of effective communication, deepening cooperation, and measures of effectively fill the ecosystem of the Innovation and Technology Park Crystal. We are sorry, do you hear me now? Oh, okay, thanks. So in my opinion, this is the question of strengthening the competitiveness of both our local economy and the state as a whole. And of course, this has a positive impact on the image and economic potential of our country. In our future plans, the driver of the country's rapid economic growth is the attraction of new investment and development of innovations. We are constantly working in this direction, and our plans for the future are to continue the development of the industrial parks, as the investment attraction is the strategic issue for the region. Finish the creation of the ecosystem of Innovation and Technology Park Crystal, and deepen the cooperation with the innovation cluster. In 2021, the city authorities have funded 21 million hryvnias. This is around $750,000 for the reconstruction.
I just take the moment because we are, our time is limited a little. So
okay, I'm already finishing.
To maybe one slide and to finish.
Yeah, this right. Is the last one.
Okay, so please.
Okay, so we already have around 750,000 hryvnias for the reconstruction of the building of Crystal, but we are looking for the opportunity to attract additional funding in the almost around 210 million. This is around $7.5 million to turn the Innovation and Technology Park in Vienna into the innovation magnet. We would be we'll be grateful for your help in the finding of attracting additional funds. Cooperation within the innovation cluster is extremely promising, as the creation of innovative socially useful products in Vienna will be beneficial not just for the local community, but for the whole world. Besides, we will be thanking for the dissemination of the information about the investment opportunities among the possibly investment partners. So thank you for your attention. Sorry that takes too much time.
Okay, thank you, Svetlana. We see you are proud of your project, and also proud that in Vienna will have this great innovation park. And we will work together just to fill it with the good startups, with the good project, with the good companies. Because from my point of view, it's very important that we'll have these facilities, but these facilities without, real innovation business will continue to build just facilities. So let's work together, to achieve this good goal from Ukraine and for Vienna. Okay, thank you, Svetlana.
We will be happy to cooperate. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Svetlana, thank you very much. So I want to invite Svetlana Savitsky, a Vice-Rector for Scientific and International Work in the National University Ihor Sikorsky Poltava Polytechnic. It's also our partner, our cluster which we started to build in Poltava. So Svetlana, please.
Thank you. So dear colleagues, I'm sincerely grateful for the opportunity to take part in the panel discussion, Sikorsky Challenge Innovation Ecosystem and Startup Competition. It's a great honor for me to present the experience of Poltava during such a great and respected event. So let me start. Poltava is the cultural capital of Ukraine, also known as Ukrainian Kuwait, where high-tech business is development and the world leading oil and gas companies are concentrated. In order to develop high-tech production and create mass innovative products, one of the priorities is the innovative development of higher education institutions with business, state institutions, and local authorities. The development strategy of the National University undertook Poltava Polytechnic identifies one of the priorities of scientific, technological, and innovative development, close cooperation with industry and business. To achieve this goal, the university has formed a scientific and innovative ecosystem that provides technology transfer and effective interaction of the university with the business and stakeholders. Realizing the need to create favorable conditions for innovative activities, 2 years ago, together with the Sikorsky Challenge Innovation Holding with the support of Poltava Regional State Administration, the Poltava Polytechnic opened the only startup school in Poltava region, which becomes the part of the regional network of Sikorsky Challenge. Our international partners from Israel and US joined the team of our school coaches. Implementing the principles of innovation development during this time, many trainings and workshops were held, as a result of which the graduates of the startup school became the winners of international competitions and of startup projects. In developing the startup school activities within the project of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine Entrepreneurial University, a training course of innovative entrepreneurship and startup project management was introduced at Poltava Polytechnic. Involving the state institution, the Poltava Regional State Administration, together on the basis of the Polytechnic, created a youth business incubator in which more than 900 entrepreneurs of Poltava region were trained. Implementing the concept of the all-Ukrainian innovation ecosystem, Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine, and understanding the need to join forces to develop the innovation environment, which helps to create more innovative micro and small business based on startup ideas and scientific and technical developments in Poltava, together with the Poltava City Council. And in March of this year, the Poltava Innovation Cluster were created on the basis of our university. The support of local authorities is very important to create favorable conditions for startup development. Implementation of the program of creation and support of innovation clusters on the basis of higher education institutions promotes regional economic development, and it's one of the drivers of innovative development of Ukraine. I have tried to outline very briefly our experience in implementing the concept of innovation ecosystem of Sikorsky Challenge Ukraine and our short success story in innovation development in Poltava National University, Poltava Polytechnic. So thank you. We invite you to cooperation.
Thank you very much. Short in the bullets. So we have a great cooperation, and we very hope that in Poltava we'll build the innovation clusters, and the startups for our school, Sikorsky Challenge Poltava, will grow to the real business. So Svetlana, thank you very much for your support and for your involvement in this, in this project. Okay, so now I want to present three startups for our, from our ecosystem from Sikorsky Challenge. So first of all, this Andrei Konovalenko with presentation of the startup project CamTouch. And CamTouch is make any surface interactive. So please, Andrei.
Hello, nice to meet you. Let me share my screen. Cool. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Great. So let's start. Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew. I am CEO and founder at ChemTouch. And just imagine, billions of people use projectors, TV screens every day during their meetings, trainings, presentations. But whenever you want to interact with the content on the screen, you cannot touch the screen. So you have to go back to your laptop, or you have to ask someone to assist you. And one day I asked myself, why we cannot interact with the screens like we usually do with our smartphones or tablets, and that's why we created ChemTouch. ChemTouch allows you to turn any TV or projector into an interactive touch screen in a few minutes. It's small, lightweight, it fits in your pocket, so you can take it anywhere you go and set up just in a few minutes. And with ChemTouch, you could be more dynamic and effective and achieve better results on your meetings, trainings, presentations. And teachers say that learning with ChemTouch is more fun, productive, and effective. And ChemTouch helps them to focus students' attention, keep them engaged, and communicate information in a new way. But ChemTouch is also great for active games and interactive education at home. Because with ChemTouch, you can turn your wall at home in a giant iPad and help your kids to unleash their creativity and draw on the walls, play active games rather than sitting in front of smartphone or tablet. So what's the magic inside? How does it work? ChemTouch consists of two things. First one is special sensor, which you have to place somewhere and point to the screen. And the second one is a pen, which you can use to interact with the content on the screen, like you usually do with smartphone by using your fingers. And that's it. We already have sold over 500 devices. And in the last year, we reached point of $200,000 revenue. And also international companies and organizations, they support us. And for example, USAID, they supported us in this year to launch crowdfunding campaign. USAID supported us and bring to CS 2020, where we found new partners and distributors. And also last year, we were selected to attend Global Startup Talents Taipei. It's a soft landing program in Taiwan, where we found new partners for manufacturing our product, for distribution, and also where we met Epson. And for now, Epson Taiwan and Epson Hong Kong, they're already interested in our product, in applying it for their portable projectors. And we have sent samples of ChemTouch to them, and now we're waiting for results, and that's it. So why we believe that there is opportunity for such kind of product like ChemTouch? At least 77% of all projectors and TV screens, which is used for meetings and in meeting rooms and in classrooms, they are not interactive. But interactive projectors and TV screens became more and more popular. And with ChemTouch, people who already bought projectors and TVs can make it interactive. And from the other side, only last year, over 3 million of portable projectors were sold for homes. And we believe that with ChemTouch, customers who already bought projectors can make these projectors more useful for kids. And here's the market trend. As you can see, it grows, but slightly, like 10% per year. And the number of projectors sold every year is around 12 millions. And also this market have a kind of problem because for the last few years, projectors, they faced competition from interactive flat panels. What is interactive flat panel is like giant TV screen, like 65-inch, 75-inch TV screen with touch screen. And it's mainly used for education in meeting rooms. And projectors face this competition because interactive flat panels, they have lower prices, they have interactive functions, and they have higher brightness. And we can see this trend from reports of international organizations who follow projector trends, and also from Epson annual report last year. And we believe that with ChemTouch, projectors can compete with interactive flat panel manufacturers by using our low cost and high quality interactive module. And from our calculations, by 2024, interactive modules market will reach $1 billion. Here's our roadmap. Right now, we're going to release next generation of ChemTouch, thanks to partnership with Taiwan Taiwanese manufacturers. And also this year, we are going to launch Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign and raise investments. Next, we will launch our product on Amazon. And the next year, we will focus on selling our product to projector manufacturers. And also, we'll release finger touch version of ChemTouch to make it more user-friendly for people who use TV screens. And here's our revenue streams to let you know how our business works. So our main revenue streams forms from selling our technology or like B2C product, like ChemTouch for schools or for businesses, or by selling our modules directly to projector manufacturers. And also we're going to release our software, special software to help people interact and communicate for mixed learning at school or for communication during meetings. And here's our competitors. As you can see, this market has some few companies who are already on the market, but because of our special partnership with one of Taiwanese companies, and because we're together developing new technology right now, our module combines all available important features for customers, but for a lower price. That's why we think projector manufacturers have to integrate our module inside to compete with interactive flat panel manufacturers next years. Here's our team. I have experience in software engineering, also in teaching, and I'm co-founder of IT School for Kids in the past. Maxim, he is our co-founder, and he also head of sales in our team. And also, as we do in hardware startup, we have high experience in embedded engineer in our team with over 10 years of experience in building IoT devices and hardware. So for now, we're raising $500,000 for sales, marketing, and development, and we're expected to reach 10,000 new customers and to sign contract with projector manufacturers after raising these investments. Thank you.
Okay, Andrei, thank you very much. It's a great project and a great progress. I'm so happy to see it. And I remember our first, for our first lesson in the startup school in Sikorsky Challenge when you came just as a student for first or second years from the faculty with this great idea, and we grow and you grow and we grow together, and it's a great picture. And I very like it your little pivot to the kids with the interaction wall. I think it's great because especially today in pandemic world, and the parents which not very like when their children just spend a lot of time with the smartphones, so they want to add some interactive, and this kind of interactive wall, I think it will be great because it's possibility also to bring parents together with the children to work together, to think about, to share the drawing of the children through your community with the other guys. So I think it will be very, very nice, very nice. Okay, so thank you very much, Andrew, and I want to provide the panel to the Nastya Romanova for presenting the startup project.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Unfortunately, I can't switch on my camera. I think it was prohibited by the. I can do it without camera, but if I can.
Oh, it's okay. We're good with that.
Okay.
So let's do the presentation.
Thank you. In fact, you can see my slides.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anastasia. I'm CEO and founder at Mosquito Control. We all live in this pandemic world, but in fact, we have been in global health crisis for years. And it involves the most dangerous animal in the world, the mosquito. Each year, almost 1 million people die, and there are 600 million clinical cases caused by mosquitoes. It is a global problem, and it is growing throughout the world. There are a couple of existing methods to address mosquito problem. The first one is pesticide treatment. Though it has negative impact on our health and environment, it is short-term solution, and mosquitoes have already resistance to insecticides. There are newer methods such as growing genome-modified mosquitoes. Though it is still in development, it is expensive solution and it is unknown impact on the ecosystem. Therefore, please meet Mosquito. It is smart eco-friendly mosquito control solution. It protects from mosquitoes without usage of chemicals. It is long-term solution. It has patented unique clearing system. It is designed to withstand severe weather conditions. It has worldwide remote control and database creation, and also opportunity to be integrated with solar panels, and thus for the usage independently. So how does it work to be that effective? We use mosquitoes' own instincts against them. So just imagine, you put the machine on your backyard and it starts attracting female mosquitoes that are living on this territory. They are trapped inside, and in a couple of weeks, the reproduction cycle on the intended territory is interrupted, and you end up with mosquito-free zone. It is very simple and safe solution. During our research and development process, we cooperate with profile organizations, with the companies who are many years in this business, and also the global industries and institutions such as Sikorsky Challenge, the global companies that are working in this field, like Biogens, AMCA, Glycon. We have tested our solution in independent comparative tests, and it was proved that the effectiveness of our system is multiple times more effective than any other solutions. Moreover, we create a great user experience due to the remote control, powering with solar panels, withstanding severe weather conditions, and the effectiveness that is reached due to the patented luring system.
Yeah, something wrong with the presentation, because we can't see new slides. So actually, we see only one. So
really, they switched. Let me then stop and then start again with the slides. Maybe it will work, but as for me, I see that they are changing. So are you seeing now the same first slide?
No, now we see 10th and 11th. Yeah. So, but we spent, we just can't see the previous one. Can you just go through it?
Yeah, I can go through
just to see what's actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have the problem statement, the solutions that are existing. Actually, the solution is how does it work? Then our partners in terms of research and development, competition, and now I think we can go from this point.
Yeah.
So during our customer discovery process, we interviewed more than 500 people and entities and understood the problem is really huge. Restaurants, hotels, condominiums, they are losing money and they are interested in substituting continuous supplying of chemicals. We understand that safety is very important for the hardware. Therefore, our system has passed the most important safety certifications such as CE in Europe, ULPR certification in US. The system is patented. We are building traction. We already installed our system to our early adopters. We have pre-orders for our systems in other countries, and we are receiving feedbacks from our customers that that already have ecological, eco-friendly solution on their backyards. Within the last 6 months, we signed 2 exclusive agreements, and now we already localize manufacture with our partners in Italy and India. We are entering on the markets of Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Canada. The criteria for entering to market is large market, is low seasonality influence, and high concentration of mosquitoes. Our business model is based upon direct sales, sale through distributors, licensing fees when we localize manufacturers, and sales of patented control unit. Our mission is give the information on mosquito spreading, because as we see now with the COVID situation, that early detection can prevent big problem. Therefore, we create this mapping and identification of the mosquitoes. We now are integrating the system of analyzing what types of mosquitoes are caught to our system, so that we can give this information to each smartphone. Mosquito control market is huge and growing. It is backed by the drivers such as climate change, growing number of mosquito-borne diseases, regulations to use insecticides, and resistance to insecticides of mosquitoes. The total addressable market is over $22 billion. Lots of things have been done so far in terms of business development, development of our product, testing, certifications. We've been participating in AI business incubators. We've been showcasing our product at Consumer Electronics Show, where we have launched multiple distributions. We've been finalists in IT arena. We've been winners at Sikorsky Challenge competition this year, and we're already building the traction with revenues and funding to our startup. Among the achievements during the last year, we also have been among 4 best startups during Web Summit and pitching to President of Y Combinator. Also have been named as best early stage startup in Ukraine, and have been named amongst best 6 hardware startups in Ukraine. Our team is built with seasoned professionals and engineering and business, and we have all women management team experienced in running business, marketing and sales, and engineers experienced in building robotic systems and development products that are now used internationally. So thank you a lot for your attention, and I would be glad to answer the questions if we have any time for that afterwards. Thank you.
Okay, Nastya, thank you very much. A great project. I think this project can help a lot of people and save a lot of lives. So thank you very much. Great. Okay, so I want to invite Ruslan Zhuk for the presentation of the startup project, Ultrasonic nebulizer for mechatronic automation systems. So
I'm here. I'm here. So I can share my screen now, right?
Sorry?
I can share my screen now.
Yeah, please.
Okay, thanks. So I hope you see my first slide, which is ultrasonic nebulizers for mechatronics automation systems.
Yeah.
Okay, great. First of all, I would like to say I'm impressed with Vinnytsia. With Vinnytsia's success in making the Technopark. I can be the first client for the CAD factory to buy the ski shoes. My size is 44.5. And as for the Mosquito, have you ever been to Berdyansk? This is a famous city in Ukraine, which is also famous for its mosquitoes. I think you should focus on Berdyansk first, and you can get a huge revenue from that. Okay. I'm really impressed. Okay, thanks. So our project idea, we use the energy of ultrasonic. We use the energy of ultrasonic oscillations. We had an experience for many years designing the ultrasonic concentrators. These are units that augment the ultrasonic oscillations. The technology is not very new. It was used at least 30 years ago when non-traditional machining was designed. So ultrasonic oscillations were used to manufacture holes in very hard and very brittle materials. But we went further. We decided to turn the liquid into mist with help of ultrasonic oscillations. And we discovered that the industry, many industries, require this technology to improve the productivity, to improve the quality, to improve the efficiency of this process. So the ultrasonic cavitation technique that we developed at our university, the Igor Sikorsky, Kyiv Polytechnic University, So this technology is used to spray the liquid or to turn the liquid into the cloud of mist that can cover anything with a uniform layer of mist. And the particles of this mist will have a uniform distribution of dimensions. And ultrasonic oscillations also, they remove unnecessary dirt, and they don't require very expensive equipment to spray this mist, which is the big problem in the real life. So this was our idea, to introduce the energy of ultrasonic oscillations, the technology of ultrasonic cavitation to different technologies, to different industries like chemical production, electronics, machinery, medicine, agriculture, whatsoever. The approach is the same, but the use is different. As for our team, we have a lead manager, Alexander Lugovsky. He is the PhD and the professor at Ihor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. He was at the beginning of the development of this technology, the ultrasonic cavitation. And we have the project team members. I'm one of them. And my good friends and other colleagues from the university, they all have their own area of expertise. Some of them are interested in the development of electronic part of our project. Some of them do the simulation, the calculation, the design, the translation, and other stuff. At the beginning, we tried to find out which industries require our technology, require our equipment. And we have found at least three main milestones. Mechanical engineering. It is always necessary to increase the efficiency of the engines. And one of the first applications of this ultrasonic cavitation technology was the increase of the efficiency of internal combustion engine. It is also possible to increase the efficiency of coating. When you need to apply the coating with a very thin layer with a uniform thickness, it's always advisable, and we advise, to use the ultrasonic spraying, because it will guarantee the uniform distribution of the spray particles on the surface of your part. In medicine, it is, especially during this COVID-19 situation, it is necessary to create the clean rooms with a controlled atmosphere, with introduction of some medicine into the ambient air. So our technology is capable of creating the clean rooms with this artificial atmosphere. Agriculture, spraying, watering of plants with help of our technology can boost the performance of greenhouses, or it can boost the performance of grocery shops that sell fresh vegetables. Our technology, our spraying technology, will help to keep the fresh vegetables fresher longer than other technologies. We have tried to analyze why the technology is not used. So there are many devices, why they're not good. The size of particles is quite big. We cannot control the shape of the spray, and it is very difficult to clean these nozzles. So we said we have a solution. We have an equipment for ultrasonic spraying, which do not require additional devices for compression, air supply, whatsoever. We can create near monodisperse aerosol with uniform diameter of particles. We can create the desired shape of the liquid spray. In addition to all these benefits, we can disinfect. Just a minute. We can disinfect this liquid. We can remove bacteria, especially this is very important in medicine. And we can make changes to the spray size, dimensions, diameter of particles on the go. We can do it very fast. We have a special fast response electronic regulation of spraying productivity. And what is more, last but not least, our spray is non-clogging due to the ultrasonic oscillations. The dirt, it cannot stay in our nozzle. It just is blown away with the mist particles. The possible use, we can create an artificial microclimate. We can water plants. We can use it for the application of coatings. We can spray herbicide, pesticides, and we can also it is also possible to use our technology for the manufacturing of composite materials, because composite materials are made layer by layer, and they sometimes require some intermittent layer of spray that will help to absorb the parts of the composite. So this is it. This is our technology. As for when we did the market analysis, the equipment that is available in the market nowadays, it's very sensitive to the quality of the liquid. Our technology removes this limitation. We can use any liquid. The equipment is very difficult to control. It has low productivity and a very limited controllability range. So they are developed only for the specific application. What we offer the tool that can have a very wide range of productivity, like from 15 milliliters to 20 liters per minute. We can guarantee any shape required, like we can cover wider and bigger areas. Our system is very reliable and durable. You turn it on and it works 24/7. And we have a good response. As for our marketing strategy, we think that we should start with the manufacturing of ultrasonic nebulizers. We even have some prototypes that show their reliability and that show its performance. Then we think we can start sales. We can do some support. We can rent equipment. We can mend it, repair, and we also every day we think of broadening the application range of our technology, because ultrasonic oscillations, a thin layer of mist, this thin surface layer of coating, you can find these applications in any industry. So we have a special team that keeps track on where can we use or where can we implement our technology. And of course, we think we want to enter the international market, attract customers, and start selling through the dealers network. For the first stage, we decided to do it in 2 stages. I think for the prototype final testing, $30,000 is enough. For the second stage, we want to attract $300,000 to start the production. And we think that as the more units we will sell, the higher the profit will be. And what is more, our system, it's like Lego, so you can combine 2, 5, 4, 7 systems in one, so we can easily expand or we can make it smaller. So we are client-oriented, so we can always create the configuration of the equipment that is required by our customer. For the current state, we already have a Ukrainian patent for these 3 prototypes. So they are different. Each of them serves for its own purpose. And you can combine them. You can merge them. So everything is possible. We have did some trial testing, and it was proven experimentally that this system works. Now we do some negotiation process with possible manufacturers of our equipment. And of course, our rights are protected by the Ukrainian patent. That's it. I'm finished. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so Ruslan, thank you very much. Very interesting technology. And actually, what I just want to to suggest you, maybe you think about a great brand name for your company, because like this long technical words, sometimes in the business you need to present great
at the beginning of our panel, I've just made up with it UNIA. Ultrasonic nebulizer in A is just for UNIA. Yes.
I think it's great. It's much more better than this for words, for the business, because
I will tell it to my colleagues.
This, engineer stuff, it's a great, because everybody understands about you're talking. But once you're going to the to the market, especially your markets in the agriculture and other industries, you need something very special, brand word. You just can open the doors, and after that you can bring more and more technical explanation about your
product. Okay, thanks for your advice. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a great. Okay, so dear friends, thank you very much. So now I just want to started to close our our conversation, our meetings. So I think it's a great project, and I very like it. And it's actually also to provide some examples to the next startups will come. And it's a good reason for Svetlana Yarova to start to open your facilities for this kind of companies. So I think we with the Sikorsky challenge will do this matching, just providing these good ideas, great ideas, and to fill these clusters of innovation, because our main aim is to create real business. It's not only the ideas, good ideas. We want to bring good ideas and to build a good business. And this is our main aim. And we want to create and to help and to involve in more and more people and more organization to work together, hard work together, to bring the Sikorsky challenge and Ukraine, the economy of Ukraine, to the next innovation level. So thank you very much for everybody who took part in this, this panel. And I want to provide the panel to the Rusty Brooks for some, Rusty, please, some words in finishing our panel.
Thank you. My name is Rusty Brooks. I have the honor of serving as chair of the board of directors of the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation. I want to say that these past 3 days have been a wonderful experience. And of course, any success that we as a foundation have, we owe it to 3 critical factors. One is the sponsors that have been part of this Ukraine in Washington and beyond event, and you can see them on your screen now. And the second is to our information partners. And there they are. And last but not least, to the team at the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation, who's worked tirelessly to make this event the success it is. On a personal level, I want to say that these 3 days have reinvigorated and reconfirmed for me my belief in Ukraine's potential and possibility. And I will say that that goes back almost 25 years ago, when on September 1997, I left Atlanta, flew to Amsterdam, from Amsterdam to Warsaw, Warsaw to Lviv, and was loaded into a car in Lviv and driven for 4 hours to Communist Podilsky, where I was taken out of the car, taken directly into a Ukrainian welcome dinner. That was a full Ukrainian table with lots of Ukrainian hospitality. And Ukraine had my full attention. I've had the great professional opportunity to have almost a 30-year, almost a 40-year career actually in international work. I've had a chance to work in over 40 countries, but only a few of those countries really captured my attention and interest, Ukraine being one of them. Now, why did I make that arduous trip to Communist Podilsky 25 years ago? I was invited to be part of a project that the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation was sponsoring. It was a USAID project entitled Community Partnership Program. That project really was partnered up cities in the U.S. with comparable cities in Ukraine, not a sister city type program, but really was an effort to provide a way that these U.S. cities could introduce best practices in local government administration and management to partners in Ukraine. And I have one particular experience in mind that came out of that project. Over the course of several years, I had a chance to take a lot of local government officials from my city, Athens, Georgia, to Kamyanets-Podilsky and to take a lot of officials, including the mayor of Kamyanets-Podilsky, back here to Athens. But on one particular occasion, I had taken the director of the landfill, the place where you put your solid waste, to Kamyanets-Podilsky. And now this guy from Athens had won numerous awards in the United States for innovation in things around recycling and separation of solid waste items and composting. And he had never really traveled to a place like Ukraine, but here we were in Kamyanets-Podilsky and we were taken to the landfill. And I'll never forget, he got out of the vehicle and he just started walking. And I allowed him to walk for about 35 minutes, and I finally caught up with him. And I asked him, I said, what do you think about this place? And he turned to me and said, I'm astounded. I've never seen someone do so much with so little. Now, what he meant by that was the director of the landfill in Kamyanets-Podilsky had a much smaller budget than he had much less equipment than he had, much less technology he had, but the guy was doing his job. And that for me kind of defined what Ukraine became for me. Never had I been in a country in my long career where I found people that were doing so much in the beginning with so little. And I think what these past 3 days have confirmed for me is how far Ukraine has come since 1991. And it's not been an easy path, but obviously the resources, there are many more resources that are available to get things done in Ukraine than there were when I first went to Ukraine back in 1997. And I think over the course of these 3 days, you've seen a lot of people participate in this conference as presenters, as panel organizers, who perhaps went to Ukraine initially as a consultant. In fact, in some respects, I probably went to Ukraine the first time as a consultant. Now, we in the US, those of us who are consultants, we have a rather derogatory description of consultants. We say that consultants tend to blow in, blow off, and blow out. Now that may need to be translated for some of my Ukrainian colleagues, but basically it talks about, consultants get brought in, they visit a country, they make a report, they leave, they're off to the next country. But what Ukraine did for myself, and I think a lot of the people that participated in this past 3 days, Ukraine impressed us. Ukraine was sticky for us. Ukraine kept us engaged and involved, not only professionally, but personally. And I think what this past 3 days have reconfirmed for me was that energy, that potential that I saw in Ukraine the very first time I visited there. Now, as an American, as a citizen of the United States, I'm very fortunate that often when I work in a country, people want to speak to me just because I'm from the US. They want to practice their English. But from the very first time I visited Ukraine, I had many, many young people come up to me and talk to me. And it was clear that they had ideas, they had aspirations, they had their things that they wanted to do. And I think over these past 3 days, you have seen great examples of that promise and that aspiration that was in many, many young Ukrainians. It was even in people of my generation in Ukraine too, who wanted to take Ukraine and move it past the Soviet era and turn it into a country that would become part of Europe, part of the world. And that's happening. I don't know how many of you got a chance to watch Chuck Whitehead's panel earlier this afternoon, but the young entrepreneurs that he had engaged in that session, some of them that are in this session right here with Igor, I am constantly impressed with the intellectual capacity. And I think, Mr. Korsun, you mentioned that there are so much inherent capabilities within Ukraine's human capital, within its intellectual prowess, that we're only beginning to realize. In December of 2019, I hosted a small delegation of university folks here in Athens to talk about how do we get universities engaged in a more streamlined process to move technology ideas through the university, get them patented, and get them out into the marketplace. And I'm pleased to say that as a consequence of that session, there were some members from the ministry that were involved in that delegation. They went back to Ukraine. They've passed legislation now to kind of expedite that patenting process in Ukraine. But again, I have been so excited to listen over these 3 days and see examples, especially I will say here, Igor, in this Sikorsky challenge. I think you've got 3 great examples of the potential and the possibility in Ukraine, and it's exhibited by the 3 people that presented these ideas. And I applaud you for what you've done. As a member of the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation, as the chair of the board, I am proud of what the foundation is doing to sponsor events like this and to showcase the talent and the possibility and the potential that's in Ukraine, but at the same time too, to try to bring to the table other people, other interests, other capability, other resources, other capital that can help Ukraine reach its full potential. And I want to thank again everyone who's participated in these 3 days to make these 3 days a success. And I will commit to you that the foundation will just not let this event die. We hope to kind of cherry pick some of these great ideas that came out of these 3 days and find a way that we can further push them along to help them implement them, to help all of you and others to be successful in what you're trying to do, and to continue this process of fostering and supporting innovation and know-how in Ukraine. I will conclude by saying that I want to make everybody aware of the fact that in December of this year, we plan right now to hold an in-person event in Washington, D.C., another Ukraine in Washington and Beyond event, and we'll hold it at the National Press Club. I hope all of you realize that this year will be the 30th anniversary of Ukraine's independence, the 30th anniversary of the referendum vote, but also it's the 30th anniversary of the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation. And we'll be informing you of what our plans are for that event in December. I hope all of you will plan to attend if you can, because it'll be a great time to be in person in Washington and celebrate this great year and the 30th anniversary of Ukrainian independence and the 30th anniversary of the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation. But in conclusion, thank all of you for your participation. Thank all of you who've been a sponsor or been an information partner, and especially to my colleagues on the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation for help making these last 3 days the success they've been. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in December in Washington, D.C. Goodbye.